Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 72 of my modded Factorio playthrough. On this episode, we need to take that nutrient pulp and convert it into something more useful. Enjoy! Well, let's take that nutrient pulp and process that into more fuel oil and glycerol liquid. Let's do that in a gas refinery, so we need 7 of them. And there's some spare space up here, which we can use. So we need to space them apart. Okay, let's hook the fuel oil up. And we need another tank for the glycerol liquid. Which we can plop right there. Okay. So when this is hooked up, it should fire up. Clearing out that nutrient pulp, giving us more free fuel oil. And breaking it down, but producing some glycerol liquid. Looks like the farms have caught up. So the mineral oil is full. Which is kind of problematic. And glycerol liquid will be full at some point. So we need 2 barreling pumps. Fill glycerol liquid barrel. Then a request and a supply depot. I'm not sure how the drones will work when they have multiple sources of supply depots. But let's find out. Because basically I want them to pull from both here and also here. But I suppose to get started we can just disconnect the belt there. So put a supply depot there. And request depot there. Actually, we probably can get rid of the barreling issue with logistics if we just don't do the barreling at all here. Let's just do the liquid depots. Although we will want to pump in there to make sure it doesn't overfill. Although actually in this case we probably do want it to fill up as full as it'll get. Because this is a byproduct. Although we do want to prevent the drones from making partial trips. So glycerol liquid needs to be equal to or greater than 1,000. And then get a green square. And this is enabled. If green square is greater than 0. Looking good. We can basically just copy this right here. Let's put an overflow valve in there. Because we don't want to needlessly pick up the mineral oil and take it away and then just later bring it back here again. So is this whole process going? Looks like it. Starting to slowly work down that residual gas again. So let's hook up the barrels. Actually, you probably don't even need to save the glycerol at all because of its low value nature. So let's just do mineral oil. Let's do 50 drones. Although that's the wrong kind of mineral oil. There we go. And we need to get some fresh barrels in here. That's not what we want. Alright, well, let's shut that down for now then. Glycerol liquid. We will just dump. So we have an overflow valve. Not sure how many clarifiers we might need. But let's start with just the one. So we're back to building up on fuel oil again. Come on, hopefully this is enough to clear out this residual gas. Yep, mineralized water is being cleared out. So as long as this holds, this will eventually clear up. Although, now we have a backup with all of this fuel we've been creating. Now we could just burn it all and waste it. But we did go through all the effort of making it, so at least let's give it a shot at being burned off. I'm not too concerned with the fuel being sent all the way down the factory and making it to all of the fuel burning machines. It would be nice to deliver it directly to the steam engines, though. At least give it a shot to get burned. Okay, let's do a request depot. And let's put the 40 drones in there, why not? Let's put all this in there and then have input priority on the left. So any available fuel blocks will be used before the charcoal or whatever else the factory has to offer. But let's just say we have our 4.4 enriched coal blocks and we want to burn them. And let's set it to the fuel blocks. And we have 4.4. Which is going to require a massive 61.2 boilers. That's a ton of power. Well, since it's 20 boilers to a pump, let's do 3 sets. Hey, the algae's finally caught up as far as mineralized water is concerned. Now we just got to do something about all those fuel blocks. Let's see where to put all of these things. The most convenient place is probably right here, but then we're going to need to do the wiring a little differently in order to make it all fit. Thankfully, we switch these over to a pattern which is easily tileable. So we can just plop that in there. I don't think we need any shenanigans with the poles. They can all be connected together here. Let's see, let's get this connected to the main network so it runs all the time. Just noticed separate's running kind of low. Oh yeah, look at that. It's mainly because there's no sulfuric acid left. Well, actually, that probably won't be too much of a problem for much longer, because how are we doing on batteries? Yeah, we're getting there. I think we have about 5,000 or 4,000 left to go, something like that, but oh well. Just let it go for now. That's all set up. Now we need to get the fuel belt going. Nothing fancy here. These setups probably have way too many lights in them. Eh. I don't feel like going through them all. Replacing every single light. Here we go. Pure power. So now when these hook up, it will completely take over the factory's power production. And this is extra free power, basically. However, we don't necessarily want to run all of it all the time. We want to try to keep at least some of it on hand. I'm not sure exactly how much, but let's say 1,000. So fuel block is greater than 1,000. The belt can turn on to dump it. So how are we doing? Slowly, but getting better. Fantastic. Looks like mineralized water has basically caught up. So now it's just the slow process of getting through that residual gas. Let's see, if we're going to move a lot of fuel, we need to have this set a lot higher than just 2. So let's make this 1,600. I don't even know if 1,600 will fit in there. Well, it'll try. There it is, slowly working through it. Creating a bit of a pollution cloud in the process. How's drone fuel doing? Alright, it's getting there. It's about to have drained it all. Alright. Let's grab 50 trucks worth of empty barrels. And if we need a circuit network, let's put it right here. Let's say barrels are less than 100. Then that's enabled. Yeah, we've got 20K in here, so we definitely have quite the backup. There go the trucks. Well, that's quite the dance. Okay. Caught up, looking good. And we've caught up on fuel blocks. Only other thing is it would be nice to save up some fuel oil and not actually dump it until we've got enough for the drones. So let's put that right there and let fuel oil collect. Main thing now is just the slow rate of saline water production. Ah, because we're not producing any at all. Oh, it's kind of a weird way to hook it up. It should be hooked up down on the bottom side. That would explain it. working out the bugs here. So we want an underground right here. Then going in. We might build up too much mud, but then we can turn it into landfill if we just collect too much of it. So we've got options. Let's see if we can clean this up a little bit too. So is everything firing up again? Looks like it. Since we're here, let's put something in here to get rid of this excess and turn it into landfill. So landfill from mud. Let's set a circuit condition of, let's say if mud is more than 10,000. There we go. Although we don't want to monopolize the output of mud going down to make soil. So we'll put another one up here. Look at that. Well, it gets the job done. We need to have a circuit network condition on this as well. Those are allowed to feed the furnaces whenever they want to. We need a depot reader. If solid fuel is greater than, let's say, 500. Let's do 100. Then they turn on. We have a new problem. I can't see a fluid void for glycerol, which is a bit of a problem. If we can't get rid of it, and we don't really want to collect it because it's not very valuable. Interesting, looks like the glycerol liquid actually gets taken care of in a flare stack instead. I think we can make those. Yeah. Well, it's going to create a ton of pollution, but what other choice do we have? These other options are actually kind of worse than just doing glycerol. So flare stack it is. Let's take a look at the pollution and see what happens to it. So we're like 20, 25 pollution. It's actually not that bad. There we go. Although significant, the flare stack is nowhere near the top of the list as far as the amount of pollution it's creating, so that's an acceptable solution. Finally residual gas is going down. We have a complete, mostly closed loop system with the exception of the mineralized oil, and depending on how bad it gets, we might just have to dump the mineralized oil as well. Considering we can create it limitlessly through farming. Like, this farming is actually pretty efficient. We're using very little resources, from the ground anyway. That's a potential acceptable solution. How much plastic have we made in all this time? A little bit. Not an obscene amount, but a little bit. And that's the end of this episode. On the next one, we're going to build some more SR latches and prepare to build all of those flotation cells that we've been planning on. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.